This is a legendary scene of ancient Asian mythology that has found its way into an inspiring coin. It is beautiful, inspirational, and can teach us a lesson about ourselves. Interestingly enough, we also find parallels with The Lord of the Rings and Pokemon, and we'll briefly tell you why that is when we dive into the folklore, so join us today as we discover the power behind this amazing design and assess if you should stop everything and get one of these for your stacker collection today while you still can on the culture of currency. What exactly are we looking at when we see this image of a dragon and koi fish? Well, both have scales, and at first glance, well, that's really all we'd be able to tell you. But there is more, so much more. The legend of the dragon and koi, I would estimate, is older than what we believe to be the foundings of most Asian nations, as this legend is found in various forms in many Asian nations, making me believe that it was an idea passed around before countries had borders. In Japan, for example, we see an immortalized version in pop culture as the best-selling video game Pokemon has two characters that show a direct relationship to this image, Magikarp and Gyarados. The Magikarp is a rather useless animal in the game, but if you show perseverance with him to the point that he can evolve, you are rewarded with him changing into an amazing dragon with immense power. The Japanese and Chinese version of this story are quite similar and play out like this. The koi, which is a species of carp, is renowned for elegance and beauty. This fish starts its journey weak but decides to swim upstream. This is a hard but rewarding journey as there is pain, but the strength gained by the koi helps it advance. The koi keeps advancing until he is met with an obstacle, a waterfall. Seeing this, most koi give up and turn back. A few of the koi decide that the journey is too important to give up on and start to swim up the waterfall. They are met with great resistance and their efforts seem fruitless, but yet they persist. There were demons at the top of the waterfall trying to hinder the koi in their quest, and after 100 years of struggle, they reached the top with such immense strength that they emerged from the water as a golden dragon. The dragon and koi legend is a powerful reminder that anything is possible if you set your mind to it and never give up. It also is a symbol of hope and transformation and is a timeless story that continues to inspire people all over the world. It is a reminder that we all have the power to overcome challenges and achieve our goal, no matter how difficult that may seem. Well, how does it relate to The Lord of the Rings, you might ask? Well, when we look at the middle of the coin, we see a flaming pearl or dragon pearl. This is strong iconography. The pearl is a symbol of wisdom, power, and spiritual energy. The dragon represents prosperity and good luck, as well as being a rain deity. The combination of the dragon and the pearl is often seen as a symbol of harmony and balance between forces of nature and humanity. In some traditions, it is said that a young boy swallowed the dragon pearl which protected his village from drought. In The Lord of the Rings, and more particularly the preceding book, The Hobbit, has a white pearl-like stone that is said to be one of the most coveted things in all of Middle-earth. It was discovered by the dwarves who called it the Heart of the Lonely Mountain. It's called the Arkenstone. Eventually, a dragon came named Smaug who cast out all of the dwarves from the Lonely Mountain and took the Arkenstone for himself, as well as the hoards of treasure owned by the dwarf king of Durin's line. This took prosperity from the dwarves and even the surrounding men of Lake Town, who were relegated to poverty until that day where the littlest of people, a band of dwarves and a hobbit named Bilbo, chartered a quest to reclaim the mountain. Just like in Asian mythology, with the koi in a 100-year journey swimming upstream against currents, demons, and a waterfall, these dwarves and a hobbit eventually persevere against all odds to reclaim the mountain and the Arkenstone. There are many strong parallels in this story of this coin that make it instantly a classic. I do believe that the writer of The Lord of the Rings and Hobbit, Mr. Tolkien, would have had used parts of this story as he was an expert in ancient languages and stories and mirrored many different cultural mythologies into his tapestry of text. There is one element that we have not covered yet, and that is the bridge that we see in the background, but we wait until we grade this coin to tell you about that, so let's get to it. When we look at the Obverse, we were reminded of the fresh historical chapter which is ended as Her late Majesty lay upon this Obverse. We see the dates 1952 to 2022, which is to remind you that this is not her years of life, but rather her years reigning as queen. It is an excellent strike, and with the queen here, we will soon see that it fades out of the common eye in the coming year. We see present all of the common language that we have come to love on the obverse of many Australian coins, so that the reverse can be used mostly for imagery. We also see the calling card for this Perth mint, which is the 4/9 pure silver. The JC, just for reference, is Jody Clark, who is one of the great artists of Australian coins in charge of the Queen's image. I score this obverse a 7 out of 10. When we look at the reverse, we are captivated by an image that is still relevant today as it was in times gone by. What a beautiful scene of harmony revolving around the flaming pearl of prosperity. The transformation of perseverance is in full focus. Now about this bridge in the background. This is the Jade Belt Bridge, which was built in the 18th century in the Beijing Summer Palace and is known for a single high arc, making it a moon bridge. It is made of white marble and stone and highly ornamented with animal carvings. This bridge ties in the dragon, as the emperor of the time had a boat called, you guessed it, the Dragon Boat, and this high arc was built to accommodate the vessel, which was made to pass under only on special occasions. This shows the significance of the bridge. So as you can see, every little element of this coin calls upon intention, which I think is outstanding, and I scored a 10. Now for mintage. There are a couple of varieties of this coin, such as the one that is colored, but this coin you see before you is the standard flag bearer and yet still has an attractive mintage number of 40,000, which means, yes, you can still find them at places like APMEX, but in the coming months you very well might be out of luck. It scores an 8. Cultural significance is where we must go now, and it's kind of a quandary as there are arguments to be made on both sides. Yes, this is a highly Asian-themed coin that is not necessarily culturally significant to the foundings of Australia, but also, yes, this is a theme that has found its way into cultural relevance around the world, not just with Asian populations in various areas of Australia, but also in pop culture like Pokemon and The Hobbit, as well as echoing the lessons of the human condition, which is relevant to all of us. I think it is exceedingly relevant and understand both sides, but think it should land at an 8. Now for collectability. Any Asian-themed coin tends to be collectible as themes and traditions are echoed and rather unchanged throughout the world. Having researched these images and stories and finding how they relate to pop culture is a whole nother level of collectability. This paired with the low mintage and fine execution of design of the late Queen scores a perfect 10. For our last category, which is uniqueness, we find this to be such a historic theme, and yet my research indicates that this theme has never been done as an image on bullion coins, except for one in 2016 when Tuvalu had a version of this theme, but didn't really look a whole lot like it. This is not only a highly unique theme, but the design and execution is fantastically unique. I scored a 10, which brings us to our final thoughts and score. In a current market of oversaturated themes, this coin swims against the current and has been transformed into the elite level, having scored a 53 out of 60, placing it among the best of the best in my collection. This being said, I think that yes, everyone should consider this coin for their stack or collection. It is timeless and relevant to all people. It is full of stories and has something to offer for each of us, and can offer us one thing more important than the value of silver, and that is the value of self-reflection. Thank you so much for watching, and please remember to always stay classy and current with the culture of currency.